beginner level, medium level, advanced level, So in this video, I want to break down for you a really easy, really fast piano trick that's going to take all of your piano chords and just skyrocket them to a new level. I promise it is so easy, and it's something that people can do from a beginner level up to an advanced level. It's a trick that I use every day, and for the last 15 years, I've been a professional piano player and a music professor and a music coach, and I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of students, and this is one of my favorite tricks to show them. So let's dive into what I'm going to call the broken chord. Here we go. All right, let's break down the broken chord. Now, this does have a technical term in the music world, and we call this an arpeggio. I prefer the term broken chord when I work with students. That seems to click a bit more, and it's a fun way to say it, and it actually makes sense because it visualizes what you're really doing. The arpeggio, a broken chord, means you're going to take basic chords, and in this video we're going to focus on basic chords because it's a way to get introduced to it and to practice it and perfect it. And then you can move on to more advanced chords, which I can do later on. So let's look at a couple of examples. First, I'm just going to show you what this is, and then I'm going to show you how you can use this in your own piano music, especially when you're trying to improvise or read something or play something by ear in a really fun way. I'm going to show you a bunch of fun stuff you can do with it. But first off, let's just get on the baseline of what is a broken chord or an arpeggio. So you can see my fingers here. All right, if I play a C chord, C, E, G, a C major chord, the word chord means I'm going to play all of the notes at the same time. That's what it means. If I break it up, that means I'm going to play each note one at a time. It's the same notes, but chord means all together. Broken chord, or the arpeggio, means at different times. Now, sorry, I had to move my foot pedal. Now, one way to practice this, so we're going to sort of do this step by step. One way is to just do the basic, like once you have your basic chord, so let's say we have C, E, G, is to just go first, just practicing it that way, right? Going the bottom, middle note, top, middle, bottom, and doing that with the other hand. Yeah. So one way, so this is what we're going to do this in steps. Step one is to take a bunch of different chords and just practice it like that. Can you do it in each hand individually? And then can you do it in each hand together? And then can you start to combine them where one hand plays it as a chord, holds it as a chord, while the other hand does the arpeggio. So let's say, for example, I'm going to do C major chord in my left hand, but C major arpeggio, the broken chord, in my right hand. And then reverse. All right, now, for some of you that might seem hard, for some of you that might seem super easy. Great, it's all about building blocks. Now, when you start to have fun with it is knowing what the notes are, but it doesn't always have to be in that exact order. So for example, if I want to fool around with a C major chord, and I know those are my three notes I'm working with, well, breaking it up means I am playing those notes, but it doesn't always have to be in that order of bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom. I can break it up and do a bunch of different stuff with it. And same thing with all the chords, because that's how you can then turn it into interesting stuff. So let's say, for example, in my left hand here, instead of going C, E, G, E, C, what if I go C, G, C, E? What are a bunch of different ways I can do that? Right, like just practice playing the same notes. I didn't add any notes, but just doing them in different order. Same thing with melodies, right? So instead of it being, what if I try? There's not a wrong way to do it. Just practice that. Now, let's try doing multiple chords together first. We're going to raise it up a notch, okay? So let's pick two chords, all right? So we have our C major, Let's pick a minor chord to go with it, just to have some nice contrast, some bright and darkness. Let's do, we have C major, let's do A minor. So A minor, the 3 notes, A, C, E, C, A. All right, now if I was to just play the chords, C major, C, E, G, all at the same time, A minor, all at the same time. But now I'm gonna go back and forth between the chords, and I'm gonna do it at a beginner level, meaning I'm not gonna go fast, but as I switch back and forth, can I have fun playing with, okay, here are the same 3 notes I'm working with, but I do them one at a time in a different orders. And if one hand is doing a chord, maybe the other hand's doing an arpeggio. Let's look at that, what that could be like. And there's no wrong way to do this, right? So, A minor, and then back to C major. Maybe I can try up here. Can you hear that sounds like music? You're not just learning a technique or like a scale. We want to turn it into music. Oftentimes scales and arpeggios get turned into these practice things that people think they have to just practice over and over, but they don't turn them into music or view them as music. A scale and an arpeggio, that's music, right? So instead of just going over and over and over the way a lot of traditional piano playing, piano lessons sort of do, yes, that's fine, but I would rather you learn it in the context of music. I want you to feel like you're playing music. Right? How many film scores or pop songs have you heard that do that on piano, right? It sounds like we're playing melodies and chords, in which we are. But in actuality, we're playing arpeggios, we're playing broken chords, but it still sounds like music, right? Isn't this beautiful? Simple chords and simple arpeggios can be gorgeous. Now, the more advanced you want to get, more to the professional level, is just being able to do that same concept, but either being able to do it quicker, do it faster, more notes, do it more intensely, jump up and down and do it. And then if you can do it with basic chords, then you can do it with more advanced chords. So let me just show you an example of this. I'm going to stay in C major, okay? So C major has different chords that you can work with. I have C major chord. I have G major chord. I have A minor chord. I have F major chord. All right, I have a D minor. I have an E minor. All right, those are the chords I'm going to work with. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you just how, if I were to just sort of improv on using those chords, there's no wrong way to do it, but I'm going to stay in C major, and I'm not going to do any big fancy chords. I'm just going to use the broken chord method to heighten the music, okay? And I'll show it as from a beginner level up to an advanced level. So I'll play first a few seconds of it being slow and easy, and then like as it advances, right? But I'm not going to change a bunch of stuff. It's the exact same technique, same notes. It's just what I'm doing with them, okay? So here we go. This is what beginner level would be. Beginner level. Medium level. Advanced level. Professional. Right? I'm just sort of bouncing back and forth, doing the same notes. But it sounds like music. It is music. Right? Even if I want to do something simple, it can still sound like it's interesting. just doing the technique. Right? It's just a broken chord, but you give it a human touch. I love just sitting at a piano sometimes and just playing broken chords. It's like soothing for the soul, right? It's not a technique I want you to drill and practice in a boring way. Make beautiful music with it. So, what I want you to do, I want you to sit at your piano and I want you to just choose a couple of chords that you love. All right? If you're at a beginner level, just choose 2 chords. If you're at more an intermediate or advanced level, choose 4 or 5 chords. But I want you to practice just doing this. Instead of feeling like you're having to run a drill to practice arpeggios, I want you to do this. Make music by breaking the chords up. You make melodies, you make harmonies. All right? Because you can go from this to breaking them up. Beautiful. It's so relaxing. I love it. I love it so much. So that's your homework. I want you to break the chords up because then you get to do really interesting things with them. And it's not all just soft and sweet like what I did. You can also have a lot of fun with Now, was that perfect? No, I just played a bunch of weird clunker notes in there. But that's the beauty of it. I'm not practicing something I'm memorizing. I'm practicing having fun, breaking up chords and seeing what my fingers and brains can do. But it feels like I'm always making music, all right? The goal for me, for my students, is anytime you're having to learn a technique on the piano, every time you are practicing it, I still want you to feel like you're making music. It's not a drill to run. It's not a thing to learn to unlock getting to play music. It's all music. If your fingers are touching a piano key, I want you to feel like you are making music. That's why you're playing piano, right? And it's all music. It's all beautiful. So that's your homework. I want you to choose 2 to 4, maybe 5 chords and just practice jamming with them. Make sure you know what are the 3 notes of each chord and then practice how can I break them up in different ways, okay? So let's keep this piano party going in 2 ways. First off, I want you to let me know in the comments, does this trick work for you? Do you like playing arpeggios or broken chords? And what is your favorite chord? I know this is a super geeky thing to do, but we're all piano geeks here who love music. I actually have a couple of chords that are my favorites. So let me know in the comments, what are your favorite chords? I love reading the comments. I promise I read them all and I respond to them all. And let me know if you have any specific topics you'd love for me to cover in a future piano video. Then after that, click on the video that's showing up somewhere on the screen right now, where I show you my big way of how do you make music more beautiful. I actually did it in this video without talking about it. It's a whole technique and it's a philosophy that I break down with my students when they ask me, how do I make my music sound prettier, more beautiful? Well, I dive into it in this video. So click on that. I'll see you over there. And until then, keep making music.